You're ready.
Ready.
Okay, we're gonna call this meeting to order of the New Point Town Council for August. We'll stand and have a pledge of allegiance. We have your hats if you got them. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice to all. These meetings are being done different right now. See that little thing right there? That's a camera. Everything is on a live feed and you can pick it up through.
You have to go to townofnewpoint.com, go to governments, and then go to
Right.
meetings and.
So when we get to the patron comments, you need to ask questions or whatever you want to do. You need to state your name so we know and it's, because everything's recorded. Okay? All right. We call to order the minutes for the last meeting right there on the desk if you want to read them, along with the financial report that's in there also. Anybody can have a copy of each one. You're welcome to whatever you want. Okay? All right, monthly directives, we're going right to Mr. Mike. You got for us today.
Well, as you know, the state's requiring you guys to do asset management plans. So I gave you a copy of all the everything I've required within that asset management plan. So you have technical, managerial, and financial issues that you have to review. If you're looking for any kind of funding from the state for SRF or even USDA, then you have to do an asset management plan. The state, the SRF has required it for quite a while, but then finally the state jumped in through the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and said they want these for every utility. There's quite a bit there. When Strand did your PER for the storm or for the wastewater, they didn't really measure all the lines. They did the manholes and then they just ran the lines between the manholes. So there's no information in that PER that we could use to complete the asset management plan. The other part is there's a financial section of that. We can get that done once we get the assets listed. So what happens is you list all your assets, you list kind of what you think they cost, since yours is almost 37 years old, and then look at the life expectancy of those lines, and then the conditions. And then once you have all that information, you put that together, and put your financial stuff together. And there's a form that I gave for that. You fill a form out once you complete the estimate management plan. All you have to do is send that form in to the state that you completed it. You keep a copy of here. You do not have to send the copy. And even when you go after any kind of funding, you just have to have a copy in the office, and then they'll just go and buy verification that you have a copy of it. So we'll try to get that completed. It's going to take a while because we've got to go through all the backlog information from your files to see what you've got in place. So we'll get that done probably this fall. There really isn't a, I mean, they passed the statute, but it's you're not going after funding right away, so there's no urgency to get it done until you go after funding.
With this funding here, which you're talking about, I was up there talking to Doug Westerveld, the area plan. And he brought this thing to me about the incorporated towns here in Decatur County, which being New Point, St. Paul, Nelson, and West Point. Well, New Point and Nelson are so small, but and Doug even said they're small. to join in, because he's trying to get you some help. St. Paul and Westwood right now are really looking for help.
Yeah, we're working with those.
Yeah. But he wants us to say something about joining this thing for $1,200. Oh, it's $12,000 to go in on this. To hear what's going on, and I said, this is not gonna benefit us, and he
Well, what's he telling you he wants to do?
said something about the drainage and that, and I said, we've already been through that. It was $1.3 million,
Oh,
and that ship sailed, we don't have it. And I said, well, I'll talk to you, other than tonight. Is there some way you're gonna get us the money to blacktop all the streets or something, because we're restricted there?
well, I mean, if you did the PER, so you know exactly what it's gonna tell us. You have to go after funding. I said, you're pretty close to finishing up your USDA. So after that, if you want to look at like, right now, there's no fund available at all. USDA is spent all their money for the year. October 1st, we'll start their new fiscal. And we don't know anything about what's gonna happen with SRF. Everything is on hold with SRF, right? State of Colorado. The feds have been tell everything bad. The only thing they're doing right now is they've provided funds for PFAS. We do PFAS studies. And that's what all money that's actually coming out, I think, in the effects that oversees the SRF. So we don't know. We've got probably 10 projects right now on hold. We don't know. They're looking at maybe September, October, when they'll start releasing funds again, but they don't know. I don't think it. So, I mean, even if you wanted to do something right now, there's no, you know.
You got 90% grant money, we did it, pay it back, 90% of what, by now it's probably 1.5 million. So that's,
Well, that's the issue. I mean, the project costs a lot more than they used to. And the line, I mean, the PER that was done 2 years ago. Probably. So any kind of numbers that you got in that PER as far as the cost of construction? No, we've had projects go. Typically, the engineers will look at 10% above or 10% below what they anticipate the costing. But we usually now 30% higher construction costs. And all of a sudden, you know, somebody doesn't have enough, even if you get USDA funding and they're looking at what the engineer is proposing it costs. And then all of a sudden you get a 30% increase versus the 10%. Now you got to make up for 20% of the overage. And then you got to go back to the funding agency to get further funds. But typically, they're not going to give you any more grant funding. It's probably going to come out of the loan. So it's kind of, everything's kind of up in the air right now. We've got a bunch of projects that are getting finished up that were able to get funding before the first of last year or first of this year. So they got funded and they did a pretty good job of getting most of their stuff funded. But right now, it's anybody's guess what's going to happen on the Fed side. So, I mean, you gotta just plug away at it. We'll get this done as far as the, because the state wants you to do it, the IRC what the IRC is wanting to do is you have home rule with your rates and stuff like that. They've had some issues with some other regional sewer districts and stuff like that when they ask for a lot more, 60% or 80% rate increases. But you need to show that there's a need that has 60%. You can't just want one. You have to show the public and the state that this is why we need the additional funding. So typically when we do rate analysis and stuff like that, we're looking at 2% per year until we get to the point where we have enough funding for a project. But just like I was in Westport, a couple weeks ago, and we went through the rate analysis. And I don't think people realize that, okay, it goes up $2 a month, right? But per gallon, if you look at that per gallon cost of water, it's 0.013 cents. I said, there's not much you can get for 0.013 cents. It's not even a penny per gallon. So, you know, it's just, so we try to, I mean, we understand that people have, you know, they've got their budgets. And they need to be able to work in, if you need an increase, they need to work it into that. So we try to keep the increase as low as we can get it on a yearly basis. So they can actually work that into their budget. All right, now, I just looked at the median household income for, and probably not, I don't know if you know this or not, but it's 53,000. Your median household income for a year, 50,000. So, I mean, that's right at this, almost the state. State average, a little below, but it's nowhere near, I've got communities that are 18,000, they got. 30,000.
Compared with we pay at Steve Rubel over at Hartsville, he said they're really much.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a community that's smaller than you guys. And doesn't have a wastewater treatment plant either, and they're spending $92 a month on wastewater. So me, where I live, mine has gone up to 92 or 78.
We're just sewer.
Now, water's cheap. We're still about $38 for water, but the sewer is just. But we probably got more houses where I live than you got from the whole town here. 485 units. Well, a little more than. Yeah, 190 or 210 or something.
Let's get on one basis.
No, it wasn't basic.
Just in a new one, we have.
Yeah. Last time we worked that. So, you know, there's really nothing you can do with regard to any kind of projects. We'll get this done because the state's gonna require it. And we'll get it to them. The other thing is on taxes and stuff like that. A lot of communities are gonna be looking at having city taxes and town taxes. Yeah, I mean, even Noblesville and some of the bigger cities, they're gonna have to go to, they're getting cut so much. Schools are getting cut. You know, everything's getting cut, so they're gonna end up having, you know, which most small communities don't have city taxes.
And our tax here in town, it's been raised for about 20 years. So that might be something.
Well, that's something that's gonna happen, it's gonna go up, because they're not gonna give you any more money, they're not gonna give you any money. They're gonna cut your money for and everything else.
Right.
So, you know, it's gonna be what it is. So you're gonna have to come up with the money from somewhere. Or you're not gonna be able to repair your infrastructure. You know, roads and streets won't get repaired, and a lot of other things probably won't be, but hopefully, you know, I mean, they said they're not gonna cut police, and I don't think they're cutting fire. They are cutting fire.
They cut out, they had a turnout year, $1 million turnout year fund.
And you're not
Gonna
gonna
do that. We've all next year.
Yeah, that's all the stuff that small communities need, and they. You know, they're cutting it out.
Ourselves here, we're done.
Yeah,
To get rid of the illicit water. We're really good, but we're doing good.
compared to where you were when I first started here, yeah.
We've already, all our pumps are new, so correct, Randy? So we're in good shape there, hopefully for quite a while.
And if anybody damages your pumps, it's gonna be on that. That's really all I got. I mean, there's, nothing has changed as far as state requirements. I mean, you guys are setting your stuff that needs to. So with regard to collection system, there's nothing changed there.
Okay, Mike, thanks a lot. That it then? All right.
Unless you got something else,
Anybody got any questions for Mike?
you think you stick around?
If you read that, so.
No, I stuck around last time, because we had, you know, the new employee, so I wanted to see
Yeah.
all the stuff that goes on at town meetings.
So you had one meeting with Mel.
Well,
Did you have any questions?
Anything, Randy? Okay. All right, thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
All right. You got Mike, we let him go first, so he can get back to New Pal. Nice down. Okay, Randy, let's do you next, so if you need on sewer, everything's good, or we need anything?
Yeah, things good. I had a situation at truck stop like last week that it's nothing major, but that control panel is pretty old and one of the contacts stuck. I went out there and the pump one wasn't, we're going in hand and I thought, I'm like, dang, you're kidding me. But I opened the panel up and looked at some things and I was able to fix it, get the reset and pop out, but I don't know if I'm gonna ask my dad how old that panel is, but maybe sometime in the future, it might not be a bad idea looking to get it updated.
So I look at everything, yeah.
It's not like an immediate thing. It's all good right now, but something to think about for the future. Everything else is going
One
smooth.
other thing, they do wear out,
Yeah,
they do.
it's been around a minute for sure.
The main lift station doing all right.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
They did a good job keeping the grass low here down around in pumps and that, I haven't had anybody saying,
Thank you.
that's a good thing.
That's positive.
Somebody- Silence is good. Yeah. Been spraying the heck out of the weeds.
Anything else you got? Is that it?
Yep.
All right, next up, we're going to patron comments. Like I said, comment, you state your name and tell us what you want to tell us. Who wants to go first? You could, Peggy.
My name is Peggy Cook. Basically, I have, some letters from people to explain basically or to information for you, in regards to letter I received last week. With Gallery Point, so you guys can check these out when you want.
Go ahead.
Peggy, I'd like what you've done with the refrigerator. The only time somebody said something to me about it, they don't see. I was watching an old Dragnet show on TV and then two cops warned the guy had one in the garage about the refrigerator doors put me on it. And a little kid came in and if somebody mentioned to me about the refrigerator and taking care of that problem, that's good. Well, I've had, you'll get rid of it. Okay, on the part, where you park your, truck or mower in it,
Yes, actually, I was gonna ask this, what business was the one complaining? Because we have an employee that looks and can see that road clearly the whole time they're mowing, as well as the one. Neither of any recollection of that.
it happened some time ago, and this last one incident was on that side street there, because it's not very wide. And
Side street by Freedom Head.
yeah, her driveway.
Yes. Okay. In reference to that, one that we have is, that is a side street, which is a very low use. And if you look at that address, the only address on that road is Freedom Head. So when you're pulling that large greatly anywhere else, you're talking possible issues from some ding dong not paying attention and hitting that trailer and getting on my eyes. The person on that 835 East actually came around on purpose on four-wheelers and almost hit Tyler. Because they were mad because their trail glitched. That is the person at the end that used to be in, with Robin Cook's home. Trevor's, yep. So it's just,
It's, you know,
it's silly.
Green owns that property in front of her old police box.
That's
Is that a
correct.
problem parking there?
Well, unfortunately, you have people in the apartment building that park there. And so both apartments, the USPS or that apartment building, but I don't know who owns it now, it's still Mark Vice. But anyway, people park, I don't know. But basically, people park in front of both locations. So
In front of Freedom's property too?
yes, absolutely.
That should be.
But I'm just saying, it's very hard, and that's how hard the truck and trailer. So guess I'm just thinking on such a low motion road that it might be safer than when I buy 200. But they don't. So you do, but 835 East is just such a lower use road. So the only person you're going to need if buyer, police, or anyone else need to get in there, be for yourself. Because everyone else has direct access to 195 or.
I know Kurt's down here, and they both tell him now, they parking her driveway, most of it.
Not always, but you know,
And I've talked to them about pulling off, making it down there.
I got the same problem with the ones there in front of the park, those rental homes, because Mr. Gilman pays to have them mowed. I've told him to pull into the park and he's not parking. Sitting here. And because I heard about it in Greensboro, they just park in the street, and so be it. And sometimes they're only there 20 minutes, sometimes they're 45 minutes. So I look at it, if there is a reasonable option. To me, a reasonable option there is using Frida's property there on 200. Because that area in front of there, those people renting that apartment shouldn't be parking in front of her.
last week, for example, Tyler came home, dropped the trailer because he couldn't find a parking place and had to take each piece back. You know, it's not,
What about on down in front of, you had to go a little bit farther west and towards where them old poles used to be in front of the old Met store.
you're on someone else's property. You know, that's the unfortunate part. So then you're talking, what is it, Cecil? So,
Okay, but
And Tyler can always park in my long driveway.
it's just, you're back.
I agree. I don't disagree.
I have no problem with anybody doing it. I'm just trying to say, make sure it's equal for all. I have no issue, and honestly, there shouldn't be an issue. We have spoken with local law enforcement, and they said that there was no issue with parking on roadside. Because you've got, tree trimming services, you've got road care services, you've got a litany of people, you've got yard sales, you have it. I mean, if we continue to finger point at that, I mean, you're talking a whole list of things that are going to be cut out. I mean, it's really, usually these people are here for minutes.
who's gonna take the responsibility? Somebody comes around the corner, they haven't been looking for them, they hit the panel. Where's the responsibility fall, Andy?
That turns into an automobile accident at that one time.
And then you better have insurance.
Yeah, then it's related to regular. So.
So who's at fault? Is there, you don't know?
In any accident scene, we don't determine both. You know, as long as we write a fact of what happened before the information is such. And then the insurance companies have to work that side out. That's that kind of, and that doesn't matter whether the vehicle's parked or however it's on the highway or street or however that works, we do the same for those situations.
I don't say, we've visited this issue. You weren't on the board yet, Kelly wasn't on the board. And it was determined at that time that 195, not 195, excuse me, 830, that side street. Yes. Well, on the east side of Prius. It's a place to park. We said, no, don't shake your head at Stacy, because that is less traveled street than what 195 or 200 is. Okay, where their trailer was parked was not blocking anybody's driveway except for Frida's. It was not blocking the alley. It was not blocking those other people's driveway. They come around the trailer,
The very person that called about them being in the street
you know.
was a resident on that street, and I'm not gonna tell you who it was, we already know.
I know it was, because I was there that afternoon. I was there that afternoon.
She
And I
called
didn't-
and said that's what they do.
I went and talked to her, and she was very nice to me. And I told her, I said, you know, if there's an issue, I said, all you gotta do is ask them to pull up,
I was just wanting you to know that it wasn't us picking on her.
you know.
It was a.
My thing is, if somebody's got a complaint about, you know, somebody parking their motor trailer, wherever, I wish that they would leave their name and let the board member know who it is. Because I ran into the same problem with the flagpole out here. Somebody supposedly stuck their head in the door, I was in anywhere. My thing is, if somebody's got a complaint, they should be willing to come to a board member face to face and say, hey, is there something we can do with this? That being said, I personally don't have a problem with Kurtz's, off duty, whoever it is, parking on a side street. Because there is less traffic and they, you know, it's not gonna be a problem. And, okay, I'm suggesting that they park on 200. They park on 200, okay? There's the property. They was parking on 200 in front of, Kathy Mackey's down here at Mo. Okay?
Oh,
Yes, and that's where this last incident supposedly took place, was down on 200, okay? 200 is supposed to be the wider road. They were recommended to park on 200, that's what they've done. Now it's an issue, that road is wide enough for 2 semis to pass. I have done it,
I'm just telling you what we were told.
you know?
I mean, I can't.
I just don't understand, I don't understand why we're beating the dead horse.
So.
Here's my thing.
We had I didn't complain about that, we had a complaint, we tell us where the Kurtz Park in her drive.
I don't know there, so if they're not doing it, I need to know, but I'm not there.
And the other one, I thought we had it worked out.
Because there's no,
They're not different.
They're there 20 minutes, maybe.
We had it worked out.
it's not a big deal. 20 minutes. This town is not that big. That if somebody has to go around the block, it's that much of an inconvenience. Come on. You know, I put up with it. I put up with it for years. People down here at the park, at ballpark. Okay, parking in my yard and everything else. I just told them, you just gotta deal with it. You just gotta live with it. Because there's no ordinance. I dealt with it. So, me personally,
I'll check and see if there's a street.
you know, I don't,
Okay, let me get back to this end of
Yeah.
things here. I thought we had it worked out where we could just park in front of Frida's at the property right to, because that is very wide there. In front of the old post office. That is my recommendation, so. And the other thing that you're talking about, Gary, if you go look. On my yard, even on, what is that, 200, right there on the west side, hell, they can park right there alongside the road, I can't stop them. Right. The only time you can't is when there's telephone poles along that side of the road, you can't park there, is that correct?
I don't know.
I think that's the way it is. If, you know, if you go down the street, there's telephone poles on that side, you can't park, on the other side of the road, it's free game. They're like in the front of my house, they're on, 200, they can park in front of it, so. But, I would suggest trying to use the other parking if we can. If we can use that parking in front of the old post office, which there's quite a bit of room there, and then people that have that apartment should know where their line is on their property. See what I'm saying?
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to park in front of the old post office? Or the post office,
The old,
the old one, there,
where Frida's property is good, go through the yonder.
I get it. So what do we do? If there's something, well, what's their, what's their option, somebody's parked there?
What about going to GPC and parking there?
Why should they have to inconvenience themselves because
Because
somebody else is sorry to drive around block?
Because they're blocking the street.
No, Stacy, they're not blocking the street, you can get fined. You can get, well, that first thing you get over the church, I've seen you do it. I've seen you out there.
You say this too.
I'll smile when I'm happy.
When they're parked there with that truck and that trailer, which you gotta have it somewhere, that's why I'm saying park in front of the old post office. It's on that side street, you gotta come down into the fire truck to get down and down right behind Richards. You can do it.
I can do it.
Without hitting anything.
Yes, sir.
Can everybody do the farming, every farmer here?
Volunteer or change the type of service, it's going to move it if there's going to be a fire truck, there's going to be a fire.
You gotta get through. Like I've said, with the other ones at the park, I've asked them to park in the park. Don't pull your big tires on the engines when it's muddy and then you rut it out. We got ruts down there on this West Indian Park. I don't know what went there. It looks like a sim. But anyway, I've tried to work with them, tried to get them to park it where you can without. My God, there's all kinds of parking in that park. There ain't no effort through the day. Use it, it's gravel. You're not gonna sink it. So my recommendation is to try the best to park in front of Frida's other property there. If not, then if you have to go over there. But first time there's troubles, first time there's a problem, and somebody comes griping to me, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send them right to you. And you're gonna have to deal with that.
I know, I have to
If you're not playing, and if you're not playing favorites, you play.
Quite
Do I know?
large. They probably need to call the number on the side of the trailer, which is quite large.
Well,
That's probably anything.
I'm trying to work things through it. That's like, these big vehicles, and I'll say this. The road going down to Tina's place, the old Peaceburg Lane, I forget what the number is now. As soon as we got the problem now, the garbage truck goes down through there. They can't turn around, so it's back out. They cut the corner, running up the blacktop.
They
So,
said unless I could find proof,
Yeah.
take a picture,
But
take a video, they not fix it.
here's what they do at Sunday. All right, you live on that street down through there, you gotta take your trash can out the end of the road.
Yep.
Then you can actually take your trash can all the way down Peaceburg Lane up to, what is this, 200? Keep that big heavy set dump truck off there. So I don't know what the answer is on that, one, but that is my recommendation. We'll just see what happens from there. All right,
And
is there anything else there?
yeah, the last letter that they received was not on registered or unregistered vehicles. It was for junk, basically on the property that's in the building.
There's-
On my picture, there's a shed that's all broken up back there.
Let me talk just a second here. When I get complaints about property, first one comes in and I'll drive by and look. Usually I just think they're just complaining. That's all they're doing. That's what I. When I get the second one within just a few days, then sometimes I'll get a third one. Then we have to send a letter. See what I'm saying?
let us know.
I've got pictures right here.
There's,
If, my thing is, if you get a complaint, let the other board members know. I mean, that's just like you talked about the refrigerator.
from who I asked you to get that.
And I
I knew he would because in trucker's pocket, he knows that refrigerator should be. We kept it on the ground, that's good. Nobody's gonna get it over. But sometimes when things are brought, and I'll say this, and sometimes when them complaints are brought to us, I feel there's revenge put on people because they complain.
Yep.
Okay. No,
The thing that you're talking about, I would imagine that's a well, and basically you have, the thing that they said, she said something about something was falling out or a building or a shed or something. I would imagine that's the well that, yep, it's one of the juveniles. He decided to knock that down with four-wheeler as well as, he broke the door back there. So I would imagine that's probably what that was. So I'll get that worked on, but,
Okay. So, but see what I'm saying, when I get these complaints, and I listen, 1, 2, then I think, well, but when I get the third one, then I know it's time to, you know, to say something or something needs to be happening, and I don't like to say who the complainer is.
No, we don't have to.
We don't have to.
so the board members don't have to know,
Well, you can know, but here's my
You're
problem.
not going to who. You do not need to know who.
why didn't you?
Because.
Yes, I do.
Because
I've sat up there before and the board, you know me. Mike, this is my whole problem this now. Because when people find out, well, she's the one complaining, well, then they go after her. I'm just using you as a reference. And that's what I don't like. I don't like that. Even if it's your cousin Joe, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, whatever, you know, I just don't want. Because then all of a sudden it just creates more turmoil. With the complaint. Okay?
With mine, like I said,
If you want to know everything I will, Gary, then when it gets let out, you're gonna have to answer to everything here.
what I'm saying, just like you said, you wanna make sure it's not, it's somebody's got
A grudge,
a
another,
grudge,
Gary, I'm
you know, if you got 2 or 3 people that's
very smarter than this, buddy.
I am, but I just, as a board member,
Any,
Kelly, Stephanie, should not see that.
I don't wanna know who, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to.
it's, we need it. Let's get them back. You want to know, I'll tell you. But if it gets out, buddy, if you're going out picking on other people,
No,
then you go and first you're complaining about, tell them, then they go after you. That ain't gonna happen.
but that'll be all around town and
That's
too
too
bad.
be around town, everybody goes down on Facebook, Stacy. Just like Andy sitting in my driveway talking to me the other Saturday night.
Keith Ossendorf put that in there.
I know he did. I know he did.
For over an hour.
No, he wasn't there an hour.
That's what he said.
Okay, so you're believing him.
He was there when we got home. I said,
Let's move on. We got our.
All right, that one's where, unless
So
something
Becky,
happens,
what
Becky,
is off here?
just try, I think what's resolved. Okay.
It really is no good place to be convenient without having to travel back down with product. Be it the weed eater, be it the stand on, be it the sit down, be it weed killer, whatever. You're traveling back and forth. So it's a pain in the butt. So I'm just trying to make sure that if we're parked here, we're not gonna be harassed for it, because just as anyone else, I don't give a ding on the park, you're working there. I don't care. I just don't want someone every second going, what time are you doing? Hey, where you parked it? For the love of God, I'm trying to do a job, just like everybody else, and just let them do a job, because most people have to have jobs. It's worth a little.
The other side of this, that was in front of your house back in 212.
And it is all the time.
You wouldn't like that.
Yes, that is. And you know what? You have to back, you have to go where?
So let's just try to work the best we can with this. We can park in front of Frida's old post office, that'd be great.
And we try.
Okay, the other thing is when you guys pull up and block the road or block the road, park there on the road, you put orange cones out,
I'll ask James and make sure. he
front and back, 1 or 2 on each.
Two.
I would recommend it in front and back, please, just try to keep people calm.
Yeah.
And if somebody comes up complaining, be nice. And if they,
Until they try to run up them on a vehicle or they get in the face, then it gets sweaty, it's. I'm sorry. You've been in a boat with fine and it's not as fun.
the problem, there's a problem here. I'll talk about that later, but anyway, just do our best,
And we have.
try, if they come back to me again, then we're gonna have, I don't know what will have to be
The freedoms, we haven't been parking beside them, like 8:30, 3:00, whatever it is. We haven't been parking there for quite some time. We've been parking, either trying to park in front, or we've been going all the way home, and I've been helping them truck stuff back. It's just terribly inconvenient. And then when we got this last one about Florida Freedoms, or not Florida Freedoms, Happy Matthews, it was very frustrating. And I will say, and I'm thinking probably the majority of the people here or in town, it's the letters. It may not necessarily be the substance that you're putting in the letter, but when you get that letter, it is very offensive. Because for one, it's misconstrued, because when you're seeing this, you're seeing it being in the car, and you're thinking, broken red ones, what the heck? You're seeing the junk vehicles, abandoned. So it's just, it is frustrating. I know for you, this is what you do. In regards to an issue, I have no issue with that. I'm just telling you, from a bystander looking in, it is frustrating because you're instantly expect. Sometimes saying, hey, did you see that well down there? Did you see that walking through that shed? Might be much more easily spoken about than when you do this. This is almost, you hate to say it, but it's almost kind of a little bit offensive.
Well, if we let everything go,
I'm not saying to let it go. I'm just saying, hey, you probably need to fix or
this little
something.
thing here, right here.
Yeah, that's not what I mean.
We've got people in this town that take advantage of this. I just had a gentleman in my house Saturday, and he told me, he says, boy, I hadn't been to Newport for a while, but it is looking good. It's looking a lot better. And it is, if you noticed up here at Redlands, they've cleaned that up a lot. They still got a ways to go. But if you want to complain about it, Redlands, call your county commissioners. Gabe Nobby, Brian Winning, and who's the other one?
Jeremy Basil.
Jeremy Paisley. Them's the three guys that gotta take care of that.
And you guys wrote those ordinances out.
Yeah, we
You
did.
had Spencer write them out. You paid Spencer to write them out. There's no reason to have them on file if you're not going to present them to the problems and get it cleaned up.
We're trying our best to get things, and people are doing better. It's just some things just fine. I guess maybe. All right, next up, Richard,
Yep. I got a question.
fire away. I'm here to answer anything.
On your vegetation, where was mine at? If you sent me a letter.
For vegetation,
Yes, you did.
Yeah, the rank vegetation.
I got to certify. You didn't circle anything.
I think it was around the garage and it was in with the,
Now I need to
This
know
stuff.
exactly where it was at.
I don't know, I didn't take a picture.
So, next question.
yeah.
Do you have a certified firm, company, or person that says it's vegetation or it's crops?
I don't know what the vegetation is.
It's weeds.
It's weeds.
That's how Spencer wrote it as weeds.
Okay,
If it's weeds, then you cannot tell people they cannot grow crops. I got
Crops and weeds are
very
two different
fast,
things.
you
I know you do.
observe that weeds.
Nobody said it.
okay, I'm Christy South. I think what they were talking about was his garden where he has his asparagus and his onions. And yes, it did look a little rank, a little rough. But that has been, my son, you may have seen it the past month or so. He went and cut it all down, burned it down. It looks great now.
But does any of you raise a
Down to the
sparrow?
garden.
Does anybody raise a sparrow? Yeah,
We cleaned that up. My son took care of that.
but then why did I get a letter? Now, why did I? Myself, Richard, I've got weeds in my garden. Well, then why did I get a letter? I have no idea. I really. Well, maybe you ought to talk to your lawyer, because I called him to ask him. I left him a message with the secretary. He did not call back. Your town lawyer,
With Spencer Gillen.
this,
Okay.
that's the way the town's gonna operate with that guy.
So what else we got?
Well, I wanna know why.
Well, it was the asparagus and.
And, yeah,
Can you please, okay, it's good. All right, we're good.
but why two letters?
When was they sent?
One of them was back in October. And then you
Both
said,
of last year.
and then he said he sent one in April.
He said it scared your granddaughter.
Now, why?
I didn't get no letter in April, but your lawyer said he sent it. So, are you gonna take care of that?
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Or what else?
And that's my private property.
Yeah.
And I'm not in the town of New Point,
You're right.
not in the town of New Point.
Okay.
My residence is 8392 East County Road 200 South, Greensburg, Indiana. Your 911 took care of town of New Point. You don't have a town no more.
If you look on Deacon Snyder, your address
You got
is,
two of them.
your
just
number.
like we got.
You cannot use a post office box as your residence, because you cannot park a car in there and you cannot live there. At the post office box.
So let me ask you this, what do you want out of this? Do you think?
I'm not in the town of New Point. That's all I'm saying.
I guess maybe move and then you won't be considered.
Now, that's not the answer. You're gonna have to look it up. Why?
All right.
You keep telling me my address is P.O. Box 114. I cannot have a post office box as a residence.
I got a piece of paper.
Okay, then tell me why REMC says my house is in Greensburg.
We're all. Andy, what do you think of this?
So when it comes to, and I'm not gonna be the super expert on the address and things like that.
You're using a county address.
So that was set up, it did not change anything because Greensburg address is put out in the Rush County address is shut.
They didn't.
Gator County, Franklin County does the same thing, I think Greensburg address. So it's kind of based on the mail routes on that side of things. I'll put on 911 set up, so the board at that time, when it was put in, decided that you were on that board at that time, way back on 911.
Yep.
Put all that out,
I remember that.
way back when, that was determined by the town that it was okay to do that. The town never gave up anything, it just allowed them to number and coordinate the addresses with an enhanced 911.
My mom lived in Larkspur for half her life. Her P.O. box was 51, Larkspur, Indiana. Her real route was Rushmore.
Right. And
It's no
the
big
PO
deal.
box thing changed. Was more of a registered, was more of a registered. 911 that was retaken by the feds.
Well, then you gotta change. Yeah, far away, Christie.
You know, said that about Stratton. You know, back there.
If
Once again, my son, my son's girlfriend, their, my son's fiance, but my son's, they cleaned all that out.
Yeah.
So the whole thing actually back there now is that dog kennel, which is encased with their spare parts and Richard's car frame.
Well,
Well,
it's not out now.
so what do we do? We, with that dog kennel, the parts sitting in it, if it's wired shut. Would it be better if they turned it shut so nobody could see it?
Are you part of the
They're not gonna
town?
get rid of it, obviously.
Do you work for the town?
Yeah,
You've seen dog ear,
Okay, you're a public servant then.
wooden dog ear.
yeah.
I was built between both garage doors.
Yeah.
Come out, over dog ear fence, 8 foot high.
Okay,
Cause that's what they're gonna have to do over here. It's gas issue.
Okay.
Between them and they.
for the,
I'm just saying, you know, put
Yeah.
all that stuff inside of it. What do you think about it? And
I didn't hear all.
All right, what it is between that garage in there, they've got back there by that house. There's 2 garage doors in between them. There is a chain link fence, dog kennel or something there,
Okay,
but everything's visible there. So if you would build a dog eared fence there, 8 foot high and I would 12 by 12 by 12. And, you know, have that in case, because what it is,
so you're saying it would not then be visible to the neighbor?
not yours.
but I'm saying until they got a chance to do it though, did they do that? Cause Josh works 7 days, 7 days a week, Keith works 6 days a week. If nothing else, cover it up for now, so they can get to it.
Here's the other thing too. That letter was sent to you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
3, asking me if we could ask.
that's why I'm asking about it,
Yeah,
because,
that's good, you found that out, so that's
Yeah.
good.
because they got rid of all that scrap that was sitting out there. Like I said, The only thing there now is that dog kennel and his car frame.
Okay, the one car frame. does that go in there?
If you get that inside, that, everything inside that dog ear fence thing.
Okay,
So what do you, other board members think of that? If between those two garage doors, you put an 8 foot high dog ear fence up, see what I'm saying? And you'll have a gate on it, so you can get in and out of it. And that stuff would be not complete, but it would be better. Is that better, Kelly? And,
Well, I'd like to know who complained then.
here's the problem, you can do that.
You can, technically you have to. Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
But
You
as
can
I
sit there, with my hours of breaks, Richard, I ain't telling.
Well, I got a good idea who it is.
Chrissy, would any of that stuff fit in the garage?
No,
no, they've got, it's all spare parts, so they had it.
Your brother said,
And Keith was asking me about it, cause he wanted, that stuff is all contained, it's not all laying out, but he wondered about that, and like I said, the car frame, there's no place to put that car frame.
Would not move to the other side of the garage.
Go to the outside.
because then you can still see it. So the problem's seeing.
Well, like I said,
We just don't want it to go any, we just want to know what we're supposed to be doing here, cause we took care of the majority of it.
outside, out of mind, that's, Christie, I don't know. It's,
I'm saying we took care of, like you said, the garden's cleaned up, the scrap's all gone, there's nothing laying about. If somebody gets in that dog kennel, they probably shouldn't have been there anyway. You know.
Okay, anyway, we're really looking at how big a one, put that up 8 foot high and whatever that.
There's not enough for it, for that car frame between.
Can you, I don't know what they, how much you want for it?
I don't want to sell, because it goes to my automobile.
Okay. I'm gonna rectify it for you, but I guess I can.
I think $50,000 for any car.
No,
It's a classic.
well,
It's antique.
see who will give you that.
Well, I don't care who gives it for.
But anyway, Christie, you see what I'm saying? Just try to do something to, because I've had. Not long, I mean.
You know what? I mean, I'm not gonna be the
Yeah.
different person here, but I've drove around town and I've seen a lot of stuff that could offend me, but I'm like, you know what, if it's on their property,
We're
Not my
trying, we're trying.
And I
This
want,
town is getting better.
cause you know what I'm referencing, I could sit on my front porch and see across the road, and I know ours is dropping the bucket compared to a lot of
It is
other
really
communities.
Christie,
Yeah,
he's in the works.
yeah,
See, not everybody is on the same
Yeah.
schedule with the lawyer.
but I'm just saying, and I know ours is a drop in the bucket to compare to what I've seen around town.
I
I want
understand.
a copy of the town's paperwork,
So I just kind of.
rules, regulations, and what it takes to be on the town board.
I'll tell you what, 2.5 years, buddy, you can have this spot right here.
So I don't want your spot, I just need a copy of it. I'm
You can
making a formal request.
You can have it 2.5 years.
What, my formal request?
I don't know what forward request, the way you want.
I want the town board's rules and regulations that you gotta have to be on the town board.
There is no. You gotta be elected.
Now, wait a minute. Rita Cagley told me she had to go to Greensburg to get sworn in. And she did that.
Because that's who, that's what.
There's gotta be rules and regulations for the town.
You know, the word is to get somebody sit on this board.
Well, I'm just asking for a copy of it.
You call, Mr. Harder, who is the, county prosecutor. You call him, Richard, we'll get you his number and he'll take care of that problem.
Background check, I do fill out paperwork, I had to declare my voting preference, I mean,
You know, that's another thing.
those were all those things that I had to
It
do.
was Kyle Harder, KYLEHARTER. He is a county prosecutor. He is a Republican.
That don't matter to me. I'll raise hell with him too. What's his last name?
Harder,
Nate Harder. Nathan Harder, that's.
HARTER.
Cause you should have a copy of the rules and regulations right here at the town.
All right, anything else?
I'm not moving my junk.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, next up is sanitary sewer and liens. The sewer, we've got, the new guy, they still hook on,
No, not until September.
not till September, okay, and liens. We had to file,
No, I sent 7 link letters out and so far 2 have been taken care of.
and the other 5, if we don't get it, then we have to go back routes. All right, alleys, streets and roads. We're getting, Barksdale out of Restville is repairing. Instead of bumps, we have dips. They have repaired quite a few of them.
They do a good job.
And they're doing a fine job. They've had to work around. People coming up 850, they're over there trying to patch that road in places and they keep coming. And they won't go up back street around, they just keep coming right through what they're trying to do. So anyway, if you see them, give them a little leeway. It's, is what it is. Anything else with streets and roads?
Are they done digging them out?
Yes, they are done. Everything is, done with that. I know they started redoing repairs. He said he's gonna try to get them all done today. He didn't know if they'd get them all done today. I've been around town.
He did.
He was able to get them all done today. Yeah,
I think when they did them, they should have put permits out soon.
he ran out of boom.
Okay. I charged 15. I want to bring it down 800.
I started Dennis, this should be done as well.
Jeff Williams is all worried about these 3 spots. I heard it up here at Bingo there.
Ever, we got as much, with as much money as we had, we got as much done as we could. We couldn't get to everything. We have a lot more to mark. I overmarked a lot with them so that I didn't have to keep running down there because every time they get done, they give an estimate, oh, we got one to go. So we marked way more, so you probably see the roads that looked up. We just ran out of money. I told them, if we can get this, we got to stop.
They done what
Yeah.
we had done. It was, I thought it was quite a bit. So. I seen them digging on the railroad tracks on 200 this side.
Big dip right there.
Stop it. Don't think too close to the railroad tracks.
No, I told them the exact same thing. We're gonna take that out. They're gonna come down.
So here about 2 months.
Yeah, so I told them to be very careful to catch up into there. Let the railroad fix that part of it. But I think we hit a lot of bad spots. We got a lot of bad spots fixed.
Yes,
We didn't get them all. Just have to try again for next year.
that's right. It's, you can only do so much. Everybody want, and they want everything done like that.
Can we do anything with 850 by the time?
We were planning to. It's marked. I got a lot of stuff marked down there, real pretty good. But again, at some point in time, the county's gonna take.
Peggy, that's-
For now.
They're gonna take that cover.
We do too much work. Then, well,
Well, we had to tell them how deep the sewer line is under that creek. And we're supposed to take that out and I'm sure they'll bring blacktop right up through the tunnel. Hopefully, because I asked them to if they would at the county. And under how deep that is, under that tunnel, that's where that sewer line is, and the creek runs through. And they won't put a cement culvert in, it'll be pipe like what's happening in the park.
Is that done this year?
Well, we're on the list. The other biggest problem they've got, it's a big problem. There's a huge tree there. Right now, that's the only thing slowing people down coming from south to north. And it's, they gotta decide who's picking it. Gotta figure out who did it. Well, it's not that obvious. It's not as bad as. I think it belongs, the railroad owns more property there than you think. They own farther.
There was 2 tracks.
Well, yeah, one time there was, but this is the other, all right, let's go to alley, well, let's go to the railroad while we're talking about it. The railroad, Stacy called them about getting them trees trimmed around the tunnel because Jerome Billman had asked, because his truck is hitting them limbs. I don't know, it's the record truck, it was doing or something. But anyway,
Play the record.
she called the railroad, Stacy did, and moved the railroad to you.
He'd be here within the next 2 weeks because the equipment he needs is in Greensburg and he'll do it himself.
Then that other set of rails, they've already got put together. It's supposed to be done in October, November. And of course, they told us that last year, October, November.
This year,
Sure. You try to be nice, because Mr. Reese, I believe, in it.
yeah. Yes, it's real nice.
You wanna be, we'll try to be real nice with him, and it's, it'll get done, it's just, it's got, we'll go down, take your time across. And, there's a man here in town running a red four-wheeler with a blue helmet. I said something to that gentleman's aunt, seen her at a restaurant, asked him, asked her to ask that guy, I don't know if it's his dad, is on whatever he is. Ask that boy to slow it down, please. He comes right through when the school buses are there. There's two of them right down there at 7:30 in the morning. Have you seen him there making you guys head out?
Gavin Powers again, so the, Damien.
I don't know which one they was. But see, he's in a red four-wheeler with a blue helmet. I mean, he come down through there and wouldn't stop that.
Yeah.
No, so anyway, the gentleman said something about, and I noticed this morning, I was out there getting the paper. He slowed down and he stopped at that four-wheeler. You know who it is, Andy?
It's one of those two.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've already stopped when they're back there.
okay, now let me ask you this, do they have to have a license plate on there?
No,
They do not for a four-wheeler?
Is it not a very big one?
I don't know how big that is.
It isn't, they just, that's not great.
So you don't, four-wheelers don't have to have plates on?
No.
They do. Okay.
Yeah, the occasion I thought it, the side by sides, yeah, the side by side, have that side by side, like, you know, that's registered.
Yeah.
Maybe you can take the kid, you know, four over buildings.
He liked renting them cutouts up, whatever this street is out there. Man, he did Edmonds.
Well, the post office the other day, and that's what starts, so he just flipped it upside down in the middle of the road, goes back, oh. Okay, so we gotta go up and turn it back over, so.
Okay, anybody got anything else for the railroad? Waterways, wells and vegetation. Down here at Tuck Creek at the bottom of the hill by the park, on the south side, Mr. Pete Trenti is gonna come in and dig that out so that water will drain away and we won't get mosquitoes bigger than Silver Hollows. But Pete's he had shoulder surgery done, so he's gotta get healed up from that and we'll get that taken care of there. And I talked to Fred Krieger, he's gonna have more riprap put in on the north side of that. Cause it's kind of foul in, and Fred said he would take care of it. And the Parks and Rec, that goes under that, but they were done up at the park, they've done a good job after. Well, I'll tell you, it's a toughie there with them guys, but anyway, they finished it up, it looks good. And we probably won't get nothing from them for another 20 years. All right, and item 7 is the outbuildings and grounds. We still gotta fill that little bitch in back here in the,
right, the district get right filled in this weekend.
okay. And I gotta get, see if Ice and Cool to put that trim in the back. That's on the outbuildings and grounds. You got anything, you guys? Inside the building? I noticed we rented it this last weekend. You know how we got the AC set on 72, they come in this morning, they turned it down to 67. That just drives our electric bill up. So we don't-
back following the vein.
you know, it's all what it is, but, this building, we've done a lot this year, new heating and air put in for that one unit. And, everything else with the new stove and all that, and we do have quite a bit of rentals.
Think you put lock boxes over them?
We can have one of that.
What's it?
Can't you put lock boxes over those so they can adjust it?
Yeah, that's what Jeff and I were talking about. The only thing is that if we turn it down, then we will be the ones responsible for turning it back up. So that would be basically up to Tina unless, because I'm paid by the hour, unless I'm going to do it. Yeah, we do. All guns doing that.
But you know how they get around. That's something that happened.
And the light,
I don't know, it's been on the wider and they let the heat go. It hit that thermostat and it's like, oh, hell, it's, you know, it's
Well-
72 now, it would be 80 and it'll run. All right, but then, yeah, we'll look into that.
figure out something that they
But anyway, we're doing good on this building. The lady's doing good getting it rented out. We've got, how much money in the building fund? Over $11,000 just renting this building out. So, See what, we can get a grant money to help paint this thing, because it's.
That money too helps pay the electric and the water.
Okay, budget insurance, we're good on that, nothing's been due, permits and ordinances. Not there. Courthouse and a lawyer, I've been up there and talked to Doug Marshall. He's a good guy, he told me, I think about 12,000. You're not gonna benefit us, I mean, that's not, no. Want to know where he lives, you want to talk to him, he lives right out past the old, locker plant and all that. Okay, 12 is COVID, ready ARP. Hey, the ARPA, but we're all through all that. Vehicles, Andy? You're up on yours?
Yeah, when we, get the Bobcat service, like I said, probably end of October, first part of November, we'll finally do that. Did have that brake put on the car, rotors, and 20. We've stretched it pretty good. I know there's the county going to between 15 and 20 for this, so.
Who's doing the lot update?
Millers are, yeah, Millers. Yeah, we'll all let where, let them take care of all the paperwork on it that way.
They always did ours, I can't get them such, yeah, what's their.
Good thing that only the school buses, it's priority one.
So we're taking care of it. We'll probably end up also about looking in November, first part of December, probably make it work at 1 ballot all as well. But we'll wait till then. He's enough Kingston, I'll just call him out, see what he's got. When he's got a full skid, I'll just gonna pick it up, bring it down. It'll be a problem.
Anything else with your reading?
Oh, that's a good point. So the new speed limit signs will be here within the next 2 weeks.
That's the other thing, everybody knows that, right? Speed limit in, incorporated town. 20 miles per hour.
I think there's a total of 17 signs.
Everybody run 30. Tell them, hey, slow down. I don't see Gary, I've got straight some kid. All right, next up is, fire department.
We had our chicken supper 25th of July. We'll have the solid numbers tomorrow night. We got a meeting. It was down from last year, but it was 90+ degrees. It's hot, humid. There's, 2 or 3 other events going on in the area that night, so we know. We know. I mean, it's a decent crowd.
Mike just said that was better than Fireside. He really loved the chicken. And coleslaw.
Okay, next up is Andy, your report. Did you get your new gun yet?
Everything's in, there's one item on backward, so, it's 60 to 90 days from there. Everything's in, and then I think the hardware side, everything's in, I checked the shipping against the invoice. As long as all the, hardware is in, we'll start going ahead and building it up. And then just wait on those last item to come in. I've asked for a tracking number, but as soon as it becomes available, if I know it's coming. You said that the provider only should provide something, so that should come from, I think, the factory. So that's where the backlog are at, so.
And you're taking your own new trade.
Yep.
That gun thing on Lincoln Street, it changed names, didn't it?
Yes. That is, it's really gonna go down, the third one, well, nothing got stacked more worse now.
It's something.
That's fun.
So, yeah, these guys have 3 or 4 other shops. So. So for the month of July, there were 9 traffic stops, 4 citations, 5 warnings. No felony residence meter in the case of this stand at 15 total laws. I did correct the basis from last. I was at least in these years, so yeah, the basis from last.
That did forward, working all right. I see Mr. Helmick hasn't been over, just like
Yeah, it's a lot better. The four-way is getting a lot better. The problem is everybody now. Biggest problem is nobody wants to slow down from the 45.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. They do.
So that's a little tricky, yeah, but. They did, the state did put up more signs,
Yes.
and they added an additional 2 signs. So if you look at the overall, I think I counted up, there's 7 or 8 signs within a 3-mile range. That's a lot of speed limit signs. Your state put up, so it's like, holy cow, more like a school zone.
Then I've gotten complained that 12 times.
So by,
2 or 4 ways. They almost complained me yesterday.
I've been blaming, I'm like, don't blame me. I said, somebody made a complaint to the state. They come out investigating it, found that there was potential. Because somebody made a complaint and did the investigation, stop signs being eliminated.
Somebody was some sort of up this about.
So that is all state controlled. So
They didn't do it like you heard in front, so.
I can't make them. I can't make the state do it. They've added 2 more speed limit signs, but
Well,
yeah,
they need.
you got,
All of a sudden, bang, you're down.
Yeah, this side 700.
well, both sides. Call the Seymour District for NDOT, that's who covers this area. And tell them, they're the ones responsible for that. And they're the ones that have to put all that up and make the decision whether they want that up. So if you feel that needs to be there, call those guys.
But do you get them?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, we all give them some grace on, we aren't riding right at 45. We're not sitting there just waiting for them to be at 45 or 45. Now,
I think we don't have Medford, especially the semis coming in. Because they used to blow through there 65.
and I think we'll know more now than we've had when we get school under our belt, how the school buses are doing. I know I sat behind the school bus, late last fall. So the school bus that had to cross 46, there was times they'd sit there almost 5 minutes before they could ever get across 46 where the opening was good enough to get that bus across. And he's falling under stop arm violations and stuff. So I know it's helped that as well. Now they get the opportunity to get across and not have to wait. So there is that improvement as well. It's better for the buses. So,
And the gentleman at BP says it's much better.
yeah, he told me though, now that school has started, the 4 o'clock thing is a problem. It gets kind of jammed up about 4 o'clock and they're starting to cut through his lot, but it's only for 15 or 20 minutes and then it's gone.
The only difference I've seen is when there's been a lot of wide loads.
Yeah, I got hit up on wide loads yesterday.
Yeah, there was one.
And a lot of, I don't have any control because the state issues permits on the wide loads. So they're getting off because it's the easier route for them to take coming through this area. There's nothing we can do. It's just a huge inconvenience. But at the same time, I think they're for those big data centers. A lot of them are for those big data centers that they're putting in all over the country and in different areas. So those things are huge. They're huge cooling units, whatever they are. But there's been a ton of them. Probably not that.
Oh, no, they're not done so thing. They're going.
Yeah, so, and again, if you look at getting off of Greensburg and going down 3, they gotta take that wide load and try to go around the Cloverleaf. If they get off here, it's a straight shot off the interstate.
Yeah.
It's wide enough at the intersection where they can shut it down and make that wide turn. And they can make the wide turn down here. I've seen them at Batesville do the exact same thing. They got that huge intersection down there at Batesville shut down as they turn. So they go right by here and they go on down and they try to make a left-hand turn to get up so then they can get on the interstate. They do the exact same thing. So I mean, they shut that thing down. They got the main intersection down. They got the lights shut down up on the overpass. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare here. It's a nightmare there. Everybody's got the same nightmare.
Put that roundabout. I still want.
Yeah, yes, they did.
We'll get one of them next year.
I don't know what they're gonna do down here. There's talk that there's still another step for this, but
We're listening down there.
The traffic.
The middle.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I had people have asked me, like, listen, I've caught the blame for a lot of this, but I agree with you. We have no say. Them guys, you never seen state highway workers so fast that day they put that up. I've never seen them. I'm doing them truck pulled up, things like flies.
What's the status of the new, gas station?
So there was work going on there over the weekend, starting to clean up a little bit.
Taking the doors out.
Yeah. I did get in contact because of all the weeds and stuff. I did contact Chris Stevens and told him to let his owners know, and I didn't know their names. I didn't know if it all paperwork was done, transferred over, yada, yada, yada. But I told Chris, hey, before the end of it, you need to have down here, start cleaning it up. So Chris said he would relay the message to them.
Thank you.
Where's it going? There's been
The old car wash.
No car. Same guys that normally great for by. Party shop there. Not going to supply across the river. They were. They were all in. These guys got.
They're fully approved now, they're board zoning and everything to get it put in, so. Now they're responsible for that. If there's, they have to take care of all that. They have to take care of all that, that's on them, that's part of their job. What they pay those guys for.
Still waiting for, dollars. Yeah. I said Westport and they called, it's like, come on. Dollars to know you more, out there. Bill. Conversation.
I don't think they're.
Car wash we do.
All right,
Bill for parking.
I could ask one other question here. I don't think we got anything to say. The storage container, like what Richard said, we don't have no say on it. No, we got.
Well, I just wanted to find out, well, I'm thinking about getting them. Well, I just wanted to make sure so that before.
I'm about to get out of there.
So like. Now, they just plug it right down.
They're gonna charge the property tax, I guarantee it. I already see. They already know, as soon as you send it, the next day it'll be on them.
Yep.
Just make sure they put the right size on the property tax.
Yeah, and don't let them do what they did tonight. I thought about a building like yours and I thought about those, I was just trying to figure out which one was one, but I wanted to. Right, somebody's over there. So that I have a 16 by 300, or 16 by 30.
No, sir, Ted Creek, the one guy in the old Mount Davidson. He had sprayed that creek and then weeds are way down. It's all looking better and we get Pete in there to clean that up, get that water out of there. We won't have no mosquito. The kids are fishing on the other side, one
I
kid.
see you building the other day. I see he caught one the other day. So you're gonna take
Brought one up to my
enjoyment from the kids.
Huh?
You're gonna take the enjoyment from the kids.
Richard, I'm afraid one was gonna fall down in that big rip crap. Well,
It's always been a free friend.
it's better, but everything drains good though.
Why didn't he go ahead and put them culverts all the way down through there? Couldn't you talk the county into doing that?
The county will fix. That's the other thing, like that culvert under the underpass, that's not the town.
That's
All county, like that one between me and, Trent House, county come in and fix. it. The county has to do all of the culverts and all that,
All culverts and bridges are responsible for the county.
you're right.
So that's Pittsburgh, St. Paul, Westport, all.
We ain't got the money. But we're paid as a town. Financially wise, we're holding our own, we're doing. Holding our own. All right, what are you gonna do?
I know.
Anything else you guys got to
I
say?
think we adjourned the meeting.
Oh, any events we have any?
Yeah, we got the fire department done.
Of course, we all know that the driveway gate is on not this year, so.
Okay. We made a motion to adjourn, Kelly, you second it? Yep. All right, meeting adjourned.
You don't want to watch this on YouTube or whatever it is. I think so.